Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone. What is going on right now? I think that I'm in love with Matthew Kachuk. Are you guys all drunk?
Episode 303 of the Real Life Podcast. I'm Tyler Yaremchuk, and I am back from my vacation. I'm here with Wanye and Jay, Bag Milk. We'll explain why he's not here in just a second. Chalmers didn't respond in the group chat, so things are back to normal around Real Life, a random assortment of the usual hosts here. Before we get going, this podcast is brought to you by the HGA Group. When your business wants to take that next step, who do you call? The HGA Group. You've heard me say it a million times now. Find them out. Find them, hgagroup.com. How are things while I was gone? Everything run normally? What did you guys talk about?
Things were amazing and seamless while you were gone. If I must be fully honest.
It was different. There was like 4% of the usual tension. Maybe we need that tension to move ourselves forward, Yaremchuk. Liam was so nice and agreeable. No matter where we took the conversation, he was just happy to sit there and see where it went. It was un-Yaremchukian.
Yeah, things you don't want to hear when you come back from vacation. Things went smoothly and there was less tension. So in terms of job security, alarming, but happy to hear Liam is a competent.
At one point I threw him and I was like, Yaremchuk would never let us talk about that. He said all nice, like, well, we'll just see where it goes then, or however he talks. And I was like, this is adorable. He's a really nice guy though.
Actually, he's a beauty.
Yeah. He texted you?
He texted me and he was like, do you have any ideas for what I could do for topics for the show today while I was on vacation? And I was like, just like shoot the shit, throw out some Oilers stuff. And he goes, they really don't like when I bring up Oilers stuff. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, buddy.
Well, everything was going so poorly. Everybody was so mad about Duncan Keith and shit. And we were trying to have like happy times. It was just like, oh, Duncan Keith, though. I don't know, Liam. I don't know.
You give him more of like an Irish or Scottish
What
accent.
is it? Is he British?
He's British, yeah.
British. Like what part of England?
I don't know.
He told us.
Oh, really?
He told us as part of his football team. I can't remember the place. Oh, it's near Manchester, I think.
That makes sense.
Does that sound right to you?
You think I'd know that too, but no.
I think everything's near Manchester, England.
Pretty small country. Not a lot going on there, right?
We should have really asked Liam all these questions. Let's just talk about it without him here. How did he get here? Like, where did Liam?
His family just moved here.
Oh, really?
I think I want to say he was like 12, around that range, and then he came here, fell in love with hockey, and now he does this stuff. I met him at radio school. We were in the same semester of radio school. And then we both started covering the Sherwood Park Crusaders together. And then he ended up, he scouts for the Crusaders now. So he's worked his way up there and I've stayed in the blogging world.
Really? What are you up to these days?
Podcasts. I actually spent a big chunk of this afternoon and morning putting together stuff for a new John Scott show we're launching, which is very exciting. It's going to be very cool.
What's that about?
It's basically John Scott in collaboration with hockeyfights.com. And it's going to be John talking to fighters about nothing else but fighting. So like breaking down scraps they've had and like talking about mindset going into fights and all that. I think it'll be like a perfect thing for hockey fans in the summer when like you want a little bit of hockey, but like lighthearted, right? Like on August 15th, no one wants to sit there and be like, well, what could my favorite team do for their second power play unit? As much as I would like for people to want
Let's break down the Keith trade again.
Yeah, for a 9th time or 90th time. But the John Scott one, I think it'll be like nice hockey content. You'll get to hear some voices maybe you haven't heard a lot of. There's a couple of former Oilers in the first 4 episodes as well, and a couple of really, really recognizable enforcers. So it should be a really cool show. It's a YouTube show, so it's going out on either our YouTube or the Drop in the Gloves Hockey Fights YouTube. One of the two, but
Hockey Fights YouTube. Does it feature former Oiler enforcer Mike Bichai?
No, it does not feature Mike Bichai. It features someone who once punched Raditus Ivaninez very, very hard in what I believe was a preseason game. And they talk about it in his episode as well. And McIntyre's sort of reaction to the thing is a very interesting. Like I'm hyping it up now a little bit, but it's going to be a really, really good show. So anyways, while I was gone, a bunch of shit happened. Liam handled this podcast. Oh, look, Bag Milk's here. He was on hold with TELUS. Nothing bad was happening. I made it sound like there was something bad that could potentially happen with Bag Milk. That is absolutely not the case. His internet should be fixed now, so he's good to go. What's up, Bag Milk?
Here I am. I did it. Only 33 minutes on hold.
That's not bad these days.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I was actually, you know what? I thought I was going to miss the whole thing, to be honest.
I have some travel coming up, and I called last week with a question, and you have the option to get a call back.
Yeah.
I got the call back 5 days later.
What?
That's excessive.
I forgot what I was even asking about.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 33 minutes. Not too bad. I'll take that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we were talking before you got in here about how smoothly things went while I was gone. Do you agree with that? Things went well?
I'll tell you, new Tylers, both on ON radio and here on Real Life. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep tonight because I think I'm getting replaced.
Are you feeling threatened?
You're on way better shows than these, Yaremchuk. Don't worry about that.
After you guys were complimenting Liam today, once again in the group chat, I texted him and I was like, "Hey, buddy, by the way, you could leave the group chat now. Like, enough."
Oh,
And
salty, Yaremchuk.
Why did you say that?
Whoa.
You are territorial. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to piss
industry.
on all of us.
He doesn't need it all. He doesn't need to be in the group chat anymore. He's not.
You know what
producing the show.
Yaremchuk's doing right now? He's tidying up loose ends right now.
Yeah.
Because someone's
He's
going to
digging a
throw
hole.
something to the group, and then Yaremchuk's going to ignore it, and Liam's going to be like, "I'll help with that." And then Yaremchuk's going to be like, "Oh, no, you don't." He's going to go over to his house and regulate.
Yeah, he's digging a
Regulators.
Liam-sized hole somewhere in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm happy things went well. It's nice to know that. I did see there was a couple of tweets, like a few people I saw tweeted Real Life and were like, "God, I forgot how good it is when things are allowed to go off the rails and Yaremchuk's not there." And a couple people were like, "Oh,
Sorry
man,
about that. That was me, Yaremchuk. I was just letting off some steam.
There were some
Oh,
people who
and-
were like, "I forget how off the rails this thing can truly get."
Yeah, Liam just let us go. And also on ON radio, I would say that was the first show without you, the emergency show on free agency day, free agency day.
That wasn't the
2
first one
hours.
without me. There was one before that.
Well, there was one that was almost 2 hours, and it was a lot of fun.
I was on the
So-
free agency one. I came back.
No,
Oh, yeah, that was the
one
other
before
thing.
that.
Liam let us go way late. And we were like, "Whoa, Liam, what's up with that?" He's like, "I don't know. We were having a good time." And I was like, "Wow.
Yeah,
Your
Liam's
name
down
is
for a good
not
time.
Tyler Yaremchuk."
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I definitely
Great
feel
producer.
threatened.
Yeah,
What was,
new Tyler got it done.
What was the most? I'm looking at the episodes here. Like you went an hour 25 once, but other than that, you didn't go.
There were
you
some
didn't go
clips.
much
There was some government.
There was some
names
editing.
blurted.
Yeah, there's a little bit of whoopsies.
That seems to happen though. Anyways,
Happens
what was
to
the
the
most
best of us.
off the rails thing you guys talked about?
I don't remember.
I think it was when you
So much
came in.
fun.
Everybody was so excited to see you. We were like telling Liam he was doing such a good job that you pop in 3 sheets to the wind, and we're all like, "Yay, the guy we like." And then Liam was like, "Damn, I'm temporary." And then you're like, "Get out of the group chat, you clown."
The
I thought it was
All Abs
hilarious,
team
though.
took
Did
a
you
big
guys
hit. Oh, what?
Did you guys already talk about how Liam was sending us the link for the Zoom way in advance?
Yeah,
It
what
was
the
like
fuck's that
he was
about?
getting shit done. And then here this morning, the first time ever, I should add, Tyler sent us the link way early. So there's some definite. There's feeling
Tyler's feeling
threat
it.
here.
He's feeling it. Someone's
pressure
nipping at
is
his
building.
heels. Yes.
Feeling the heat. I've never really done that. I'm always just like, right before you start the Zoom call, you fire out the link. But Liam, he was scheduling that shit like far in advance. Man,
Liam-
I mean,
Liam's
Our
on top of
producer
it.
farm system is very strong right now.
Bench depth, bench strength.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of bench strength.
Anyways, I was just going to go through like everything I missed because I'm kind of like reading the episode descriptions here. And the first episode I missed was about Adam Larson jumping ship, no longer member of the Oilers. The All Abs team took a big hit. That's going to be one of the bigger takeaways from this offseason for me. Like the additions the Oilers made were exciting, but like some of the losses they have, like I don't mean to be a downer, but like it stings. Like I'm going to miss having Adam Larson around Edmonton.
I'm glad you're most worried about the All Abs team because I know that we too are very concerned about what's going on around here. We lost Tippett.
He might have abs.
Oh, yeah. Tippett's ripped.
I'm working on an article for Gregor right now. We lost Clefbaum and Larson. Come on. That's devastating. Broberg better be doing
Broberg, though.
sit-ups right now.
Yeah, he is our only hope.
But the strategy is to take their salaries, add them together, and give it to Nurse till the year 3000. So that's great.
Well,
defensemen are getting paid.
Goo,
So
my God.
I wasn't here for last episode. I hate to bring up the subject again, but I'm interested to hear your perceived, I guess, what you guys think of the CC signing.
Oh, if it's about the Oilers, I guarantee we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten to any of those topics.
So, I want to know what your thoughts are. What are your takes on that trade or on that signing? Sorry.
So when you look around the NHL, there was like this weird run on like grossly overpaying very average defensemen. Like you look at who got signed. The David Savard deal actually might have been an okay deal, but like Alex Goligoski got $5 million for a year. Montour 3.5 by 3. Forbert 3 by 3. Like Morgan or Mike Riley got 3 by 3. It was like a weird little run. And like, that's what NHL GMs this offseason decided they were going to splurge on. And even considering that, the Oilers still found a way to pay more than everyone else paid for like their average third pairing defenseman, giving Cody Ceci 4 years by 3.25. So I didn't hate the dollar amount, but no other team really had to go that high in dollars and that long in term. And I think he's a fine third pairing D-man. He had a good year in Pittsburgh, but like, man, Ken Holland overpaid again.
What do you think about CCJ?
Yeah, I don't. He's a guy who has underperformed and then got put into a role where he was insulated and excelled. So he went from analytics nightmare to analytics darling. And now we're signing this big ticket thinking this is our replacement for Adam Larson, when they probably should have signed like Hankapaa, who signed for like $1.5 million or whatever in Dallas. Yeah. Like there was some cheaper signings to be had. So I don't know. I just, if that is the reaction or the answer to losing Larson, then I'm not a large fan of this.
It's I would say that the Oilers defense in general is going to be an interesting gamble for Ken Holland, just as a whole.
And then you look at Winnipeg. Winnipeg's blue line just got like unreal. Like they just went big on it. I'm just like, why are we in on some of these discussions, or why aren't we trying to create those situations? Well, and I'm not trying to slight Ken Holland yet. I'm still going to stay positive, but I just see all this stuff, and then we signed Ceci.
And especially, I think what really hurt the Oilers is like you talked about Winnipeg, Jay, and like they have Morrissey, Pionk, DeMello, Logan Stanley. Like they had a few nice pieces there. And then they had the draft pick capital to go out and acquire Nate Schmidt and acquire Brendan Dillon. And the Oilers didn't have the draft pick capital. So they had to go free agent shopping, right? Or they spent some of their draft pick capital on Duncan Keith. So they had to go free agent shopping. And when you go to free agency, like you almost know that you're, 9 times out of 10, you have to overpay for the guy. And they overpaid for Cody Ceci. Like even if for the next 2 seasons, he's like a decent 4th defenseman or 5th defenseman, like 4 years for that guy. No, he's 27. So maybe he'll prove me wrong, and maybe Keith will prove me wrong. And I really hope I'm wrong on like a lot of fronts right now when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers, but
that's never a good sign. You're usually not wrong.
I'm bullish on Keith. We're just sour at what the
and that's fair.
It's just CC I don't get. I'm pumped now. Granted, I don't like trading Ethan Bear, but I am excited about Warren Fogle.
The Oilers forward group is like really good.
What's that?
The Oilers forward group is really, really good. Like if you have McLeod or Holloway or both in the lineup, or you go out and get another left winger in free agency with like the $1 million and change you have left, this forward group is going to be great. And this Oilers team and the system Dave Tippett has over the last couple of seasons, they've been great at protecting leads. And I think what we're going to find out here is, were they great at protecting leads because of the cast they had on that blue line? Or were they great at protecting leads because the style Dave Tippett has the team play, right? Like if the Oilers can go,
played solid, and
Mike Smith played great, and goaltending is going to be huge too, and their goaltending didn't get any better. So
like it's concerning as well. Why not sign Ryan Murray?
They tried.
You had no money,
but we signed Cody Ceci. We had money.
See, and that's where I don't like the strategy from Holland of like you sign Ceci, so you flip Bear. And then your right side's fine, but on your left side, you probably still need one more lefty. Whereas if you would have just gone out and like signed Derek Forbert for 3 by 3 or signed Ryan Murray for a couple of years and paid a little bit more than what he eventually went to Colorado for, you could have kept Bear on the right side and gone out and gotten your Larson replacement to just be a lefty. And things could have maybe worked out. You would have had to go spend, $3 million on a forward instead of getting and signing Warren Fogle. But that could have also been done. Like it's not the way I would have done it. Ken Holland's clearly going a different route with this team. He clearly wants to surround McDavid, Draisaitl, and all them with like some older veteran options. And this is
like, are they thinking like Broberg can make the step?
No, I think I think we're going to get, if we're talking about things that Ken Holland will still do this offseason, like I don't think we're getting a goalie trade. That's probably out of the picture. I think we'll get two lefties added, a left winger and a left defenseman, and they'll both come in around $1 million, and that's how they'll spend the rest of their money.
It's going to be Slater Cuckoo or something like that, you know? Well, Yamo still needs a contract also.
Yamo will be cheap though, right?
Yeah, I was kind of crunching the numbers, and if Yamamoto's $2 million and Fogel's like 750, or sorry, not Fogel, Benson is like 750K, and you bury Turris, you have like $2.35 million to spend on a defenseman and a winger. So it's...
Then you could bury Koskinen and unlock $1 million.
I think burying Koskinen and replacing him with Stalock would save you like $300K or $400K. I think
this is just, for me, it's the problem of overpaying a guy by 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand, and all of those in aggregate are adding up to the Ryan Murray we missed as an example. Like, a little bit frustrating, but.
Well, this is where I think there's a larger conversation to be had. Cause like what I get upset is you look at Boston. Boston has really bolstered their lineup, and it's all on like cheap fucking deals. And we got to, if you really want parity in the league, it's not fair that a team like the Oilers or something Northern or something like that has to overpay to attract guys. It's such bullshit. It drives me crazy.
But that's kind of life,
have to
right?
overpay though.
Yeah, and that's kind of life. But the thing that they do is they embrace it by allowing no trade, no movement, none of that. Player movement is good for the game, and it's also good for the fans.
It is. Like, I'm not going to argue with you
on the way out.
What's that?
Unless you get some heartbreak on the way out when somebody leaves, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But I also think like you got to find guys that want to be in your market, right? There are some guys who would hate to go to an Arizona. They'd be like, fuck that. I want to play in like a good hockey market. And there's some guys who would look at an Edmonton or a Boston, and they might look at Edmonton and Winnipeg and be like, I'm not playing where it's cold. Whereas Zach Hyman is clearly okay with playing where it's cold, right? It does limit your shopping options.
Is that because we're the only ones that his request was to make $40 million?
Yeah.
Were we the only ones lining up to answer that request?
Maybe.
And this is not a slight against Zach. I am excited that Zach Hyman's an Oiler.
I love that I come back on the pod and we get 15 minutes of like good nerdy hockey talk. That makes me feel good.
Well, these are just things that I've been thinking about. We need to discuss. I just kind of like I'm pumped about our forwards. I think Fogel's going to surprise us because it's like
he's a big boy.
Him and Bear are in a similar situation. Like he was boxed out in Carolina because their top six is so good.
Yeah.
So he hasn't gotten, and his time to get his chance is still a little ways away. So like that to me, like getting him, and even if it costing Bear, I'm actually not too upset. Like I just loved Ethan Bear as an Oiler. That's why I'm sad to see him go. But I'm really excited about the upside of Warren Foegele.
I'm excited about Foegele too. The only thing that makes me nervous is he probably won't be playing next to a Jordan Staal here in Edmonton.
He's playing with Ryan McLeod or Derek Ryan or something, right? Unless they flip him to the right side and move him up or whatever.
Sign another left C, and he can be playing with Nuge. Or left center. He can play with Nuge or left wing. God.
If you were to get Slater Cuckoo at league minimum, it would give you like whatever. And you bury Koskinen for Stalock, it would give you like just under $2 million. If that's enough to get you Thomas Tatar, oh boy, I'm all over that. Because then I think you can split everybody up and go McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Derek Ryan down the middle, or McLeod down the middle. And your wings are like totally set. Like it would be a really, really good looking forward group, even better looking than it is now. And I love the way it looks right now. So there's still a little bit of wiggle room here, but I'm not expecting like a big splash. Quickly on Cody Ceci, one of the things I heard, it was either from Ken Holland or someone else, where they said Ceci's agent reached out to Holland and said that
the day before.
That he wanted to play in Edmonton and like he thought it was such a great fit. And there was a little part of me that went, did he think he was a great fit in Edmonton, or did his agent go, hey Cody, Ken Holland's going to overpay the fuck out of you? He's that kind of guy. Like, did they just kind of spot that as like there's a GM that'll give us the extra year if we ask for it?
No, well, that's an agent's job, right? They comb the league to see who actually needs their player.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that
grinds them.
his agent probably made that same call several times. You know,
Mhm.
hey, you'd be a great fit for Cody Ceci. You're the only one. You're the only team for him. And you did that 30 times. You know.
Yeah. He wants to be a member of the Colorado Avalanche. Oh, you know.
He wants the third year.
Or the fourth year. We get.
He believes in what we're doing.
the
The
Belanger.
early
He wants
Oh,
what we're doing.
God.
He wants the third year.
Man.
Oh, fuck.
I
he
was
better
so-
not be- he
I
better
bought
not
in
be Eric
fully when
Belanger.
Belanger wanted that extra year. I thought he was the guy we needed.
Oh, my God.
we were talking about the gambles that Ken Holland made, and I'm going to tie this into gambling for just like 20 seconds here, courtesy of our friends at oddchuck.com. Everything you need to make the sharp play, whether it's baseball, hockey, football, oddchuck.com. Gambling on the Oilers this year, take the fucking over every single game. I got a funny feeling this team is going to win a lot of like 5-3, 6-4, 6-3 hockey games. Like Mike Smith had a great year. Could he do it again?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But when I look at the blue line in front of him and a combination of Smith and Koskinen and the offense that the Oilers should consistently bring with their 12 forwards looking the way they are, hit that over.
To me, the wild card on defense is not Ethan Bear, because he's gone. I miss you. Evan Bouchard. How good can he be? Can he move himself from the 3-hole up in the lineup quicker than expected? Because that would probably solve a lot of our problems.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I like actually is hold on. Maybe not rush. Hold on to that cap space and that potential to create more, and save it for like a trade in November.
But the problem is you're past that point already. And I'm sure
What do you mean? November's in 4 months.
No, I mean like, and I'm sure Original Puzar can correct me on this because he often does fix me whenever I say something wrong. But with LTIR space, I don't think it adds up the same way normal cap space does.
We're not talking about LTIR again. We got Ken Holland. Ken Holland will hear it, and then he'll go into his thing again. It's a whole thing.
But I think
we're gonna put Klefbom on LTIR at the start of the season, right? We're doing it the right way.
I don't think so. I don't think they have room for that.
So we can't bury Turris now. He has to.
Let me look. I
had a tweet about the Oilers situation a while ago.
Yeah, anything we can unlock, we should delay for and then try to acquire later in the season when there's a team that's going off the rails. Maybe there's a trade to be had.
So if the Oilers were to carry Klefbom on their roster and then roll with like the minimum amount of forwards and the minimum amount, like if they just carried the literal minimum roster here, bury Turris, that's pretty much all you can do. You only have they might be able to actually. Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Then you get the full benefit of the contract, right? If you can put him on at the start of the season, right?
So maybe when it comes to a guy like Slater Cuckoo, you have to do, or whoever the left winger is, you have to do after. You have to do what the Blues did with Hoffman, right? Where they PTO'd him, #PTO everyone. And then after you can put Klefbom on, then you sign him after the season starts. Yeah, maybe they can make that work.
I found the Puckpedia tweet. So with Fogle signed at 275, so they are, let's go Oilers. Well, that's the hashtag, are 420K over the cap with 21 players on the roster. They can exceed the cap by 4.17 with Klefbom on LTIR, leaving them approximately 3.75 million in effective space with Yamamoto still to sign.
See, so that makes it sound like they can't, unless they start burying guys and tossing more options in the minors and doing all that. Because you have to be cap compliant on day one, but I think you can carry like a fringe roster. So it depends how many guys are waiver exempt as well. I don't know. It's complicated as fuck. I should probably just DM Hart from Puckpedia and get an answer to this.
We should have him on the pod and just grill him about all the scenarios.
There's way too much math in this for me. And Tyler, frankly, there's too much math in this for you too, buddy.
Oh yeah, I'm way out of it. I'm like the GIF. I'm the GIF of Alan from The Hangover when he's like counting the cards and all the numbers are going through his head, except none of them make any sense. Like it just
everything's just going over your head.
Yeah.
We're going to quickly give some love to our friends at Twig and Berries. They got their new store set up in St. Albert, and I saw some pictures of it. It's fucking nice. Like it is crispy. It is clean in there, but I would not expect anything less because everything they make, from their shirts to their very own line of nutsack underwear, their very own line of Twig and Berries underwear as well. It is all crisp as hell. Promo code NATION15 gets you 15% off and free shipping. And also, like the good, cheap Ukrainian I am, they have a sales section on their website. And I'm a sucker for a good sales section on a website.
Who is it?
Lingonberry's.
Did you just self-loathe Yaremchuk and call yourself a
Yes, he did.
racial term?
I mean, that's like a stare. I'm pretty sure though. Here's what I like, because people always bring that up. And I was like, oh, Ukrainians are cheap. I'm pretty sure every culture is like known for being cheap. Like
I'm
how many
incredibly cheap, and
Not basketball player. All around
But
the world, they blow money on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll always
Professional
hear like,
athletes.
oh, Italians are so cheap with the wallet. And it's like, I feel like every culture has that said about them.
What do you like at the lunchroom at the United Nations? Like, how do you just keep bumping into other groups? Like, boy, those Lithuanians. Like, they're all one table in your mind.
I don't know. All right.
Tyler, I am not Ukrainian, and I am very cheap. So maybe
That's what I mean. I just feel like everyone likes saving money, but it always gets thrown into like a cultural thing. Like, oh, that culture is so cheap. And it's like, well,
I also love my petahe though, Tyler.
yeah.
I got it. People from Dubai, they're not cheap.
Yeah,
they're ballers.
Mm-hmm. Big towers.
There you go, Yaremchuk. People from Dubai.
You know who I can't imagine is cheap, Tyler? Steph Curry. He just signed a $200 million 4-year deal today.
And he's got all that Under Armour money. Basketball.
There was another one I
insane,
saw.
man.
I want to talk to Chalmers about. Where was this? Hold on. This was
Those
preposterous.
basketball contracts are insane.
They are bananas.
Chris Paul declined his $44.2 million option and elected to become an unrestricted free agent.
And then he signed
$44.2 million. He's like, nope, bye.
But then he went on to sign like a deal,
A 4-year deal or something for 170 million or something crazy.
Yeah, like it's insane.
Outrageous.
And he's old as fuck. That'd be like if the Oilers gave Chris Paul's unreal though. He's a Hall of Famer. So maybe it's like comparable to the Oilers going to like Duncan Keith and being like 4-year deal at whatever. But Chris Paul's still fucking good. So
is it like
how does this work?
4 by 9.5?
Yeah.
If there's no fans in the seats, like how the hell is it all just escrow?
The NBA's had fans in the seats for a long time.
All season,
all season, yeah. They don't give a shit.
They did the bubble, and then last year they just did full capacity.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, like
Delta baby.
Yeah, Delta season.
Delta Force.
But the NBA off season's been good. Not that we really care about that. Wanye, you talked about Dubai, and I saw like a thing on Instagram that Dubai was like finding ways to create rain to deal with their droughts. Like they were like shooting like electro blah, blah, blah into the sky to like force it to rain. That seems like, I'm sure they've done their research, but that seems like a weird butterfly effect thing where like, maybe making it rain. To me like don't make it rain with no lightning. Next thing you know, hamburgers eat people. Right. Well,
like I wouldn't be fucking with nature quite to that extent. Thank you.
Don't play God.
Yeah, does that like defer where like that just pushes their drought further away? And all of a sudden now like the countries across the Gulf are in a drought because Dubai just sucked all of the moisture or what was left out of the air?
I've heard of like them deferring storms. Like when the Olympics were in Beijing, they took planes up in the atmosphere, remember, and cleared out all the clouds so it couldn't rain. Really? But I don't know what the inverse of that looks like.
Yeah.
Like, how do you create moisture where there's none with electricity? I don't get it. The water vapor naturally in the air, maybe?
I don't know. I'm not.
You know, they figured it out, though, Yaremchuk. They figured it out in Dubai. They just shot a bunch of money into the sky and went, rain, bitch.
Yeah. It's just money raining. Yeah. Literally, it's just money raining.
Yeah.
Maybe if we make it rain money, the crops will grow. When we were in Dubai, Yaremchuk, we were going around like having meetings with people and stuff. And I just kept asking, like, how is all of this possible? How is all of this possible? And the consensus in Dubai was just like, oh, like, how can you just build skyscrapers in every direction? Oh, very strange. Very weird place.
Yeah.
When were you in Dubai?
Jay and I went to Dubai. What year is that, Jay? 2017?
2015.
Trying to start like a cricket nation or something? What are the popular sports in Dubai? The government.
No, we went on a creative economy trade mission.
Yep. Basically, we wanted to see Dubai, and they were like, "You can go here, here, and here if you go on this thing." Yep. But it was really weird. It's a very weird place. Like there are Ferrari police cars and shit there.
Yeah.
Really? That's not just memes I've seen.
Oh man, it's wild there. It is wild. Every car is exotic.
Mm-hmm.
You go and everything is just, you go for a beer in your hotel and a beer like a Heineken's like $25.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
What currency do they use?
We saw a mall that makes
Durham.
West Edmonton Mall look like a shed. Legit. The Mall of Dubai. I'm like, West Edmonton Mall. Puh, garbage.
When skiing inside a mall.
Yeah, when skiing inside the mall, it was like 45 degrees out. There's something ain't right about that.
You went skiing inside a mall?
Yeah.
Think about the amount of AC required to make a ski hill inside a mall.
Yeah. It ain't right.
It's wild.
They might as well just blast a laser at the ozone layer, you know?
I saw the thickest, plushest carpet I've ever seen in my life, Yaremchuk. It was like walking on a fairway of a golf course.
Oh, that's
like
really
you
nice.
sunk down. It was so plush. I was like, holy crap. The tallest building in the world didn't impress me for shit. But 2-inch underlay, I was like, whoa.
25 UAE dirhams is about 850 Canadian. So the Heineken price was probably, pretty close to on par.
No, it was 25 Canadian.
Oh, wow. So like your bill was like $73 in dirhams.
It was like 100. It was like 100 dirhams or 80 dirhams a beer at the time. And it was, I might be over exaggerating a hair. I think it was about 80 dirhams a beer. And at that time it was like 5-1. The conversion.
Yeah, they ain't playing. Yeah. They ain't playing in Dubai.
It was expensive lifestyle.
Playing too much.
Oh yeah.
I just pulled up some average prices in Dubai. You can get a pint of domestic draft for 45 dirhams.
All the bars are only in hotels because they're only for foreigners.
Yeah, it's because culturally they don't drink, right? So they have to put the rules in hotels. But if you work for the Emirates, if you work for Emirates, everything's 50% off.
Just everything?
Like everything. So they go out and eat everything. Like everything is 50% off if you work for the flag carrier airline.
What?
Yeah. So because I met someone I knew someone worked for Emirates. So I went and met with them down there, and she was telling me that. And I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy because it's so expensive, right? Yeah. So they get all these people to come and work for them. They can't pay them $9 billion a year to be a flight attendant or a pilot. So they do this to give them a affordable cost of living.
So I'm on a website that is a cost of living estimator based on where you are and which country you want to go to. So I've got Edmonton loaded up in here, right? And I've got Dubai loaded up. So it says, and you guys have been there, so chime in. Dubai is, and let me get through it because it's interesting. Dubai is 12.94% less expensive in terms of your day-to-day, but rent is 60% higher than at Edmonton. Does that sound right?
Well, what does your day-to-day include?
Like they've just got costs here. So like if you want to go to a restaurant kind of thing, like an inexpensive meal, how much is a cappuccino, stuff like that.
There's a Tim Hortons in Dubai Mall. I remember that much. The thing that's interesting is so their weekends are shifted. So they're not Monday to Friday. They're they're Tuesday to Saturday, I think.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Like that's kind of how their weeks shape up. They're just one day different. So the big thing in Dubai is Sunday brunch. So if you're looking to go party, you go to these like hotel and they have these crazy wild spreads. And you pay 9 billion dirhams, and it is a full and all you can drink, and it is a full on like 5-star food experience / like university level intoxication party. Smashed together.
Tea with the Queen meets shotgunning beers in a frat house.
Yeah, keg stands.
It's shotgunning a beer with the Queen. Yeah,
I like that.
Shotgunning a beer with the Queen. Yeah.
That could be the title of this week's episode: shotgunning a beer with the Queen.
The hotel we stayed at, Yaremchuk. You know how the continental breakfasts always suck at hotels? It's like a handful of Fruit Loops and a punch in the face. There it was like super, super nice. And there was smoked salmon. And I couldn't get over the fact it was free. And I was like, I can eat this every morning. And the waiter's like, certainly, sir. I'm like, every morning I can come eat smoked salmon. He's like, of course. And by like day 3, they're like, more smoked salmon, sir? Like I was a giant bear. And they just brought me salmon. I was like, yes, Dubai. We're all warlords here together.
Now all I'm thinking of is going to like a Super 8 in some small town and they throw Fruit Loops at you and punch you in the dick and are like, have a good morning, asshole.
Get out of this Motel 8.
Little tiny boxes and room temperature orange juice.
I stayed at a hotel in Valemont on my drive back from my vacation. Not a lot going on in Valemont, tell you that for free. But they had a really nice pizza place. And the hotel continental breakfast was like one of those snack packs of yogurt and like pre-cut apple slices in a bag. And like, that's what I got for my breakfast. I was like, oh,
when I check into a hotel and they're like,
that's
oh, the
5 stars
breakfast
in Belmont.
When I check into a hotel, they're like, oh, breakfast starts. I'm like, don't even tell me the time. There's a 0.0% chance I'm going to eat this shit.
One of my favorite things about those like hotel breakfasts that are available is, hey, Jay, well, Tyler too, like when we go down to Calgary and seeing people roll into the breakfast the next morning before we jump on the bus is my favorite shit ever.
More dead than alive.
Oh man, they're just corpses everywhere. The best.
Yeah.
I was a corpse on the trip to Calgary. Like I was hurting. I was a hurting unit, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And if you come on one of our nation vacations, that is a guarantee that you will see drunk Yaremchuk at least once, and then also violently hungover Yaremchuk also once on the same trip. It's written in the contracts.
Depending where we go, slightly poorer Yaremchuk also.
Oh, yes.
Like when we went to Vegas and I was like, this is my gambling budget for the week. And it was night one. I was like, son of a bitch, got to find an ATM. I'm already.
Yeah. You either don't gamble or you don't set a budget. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Man, that's
you got to roll with it, man. Yeah. Or just be like, I saw you win the 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50,
or if you're down on cash, you just reach in your pocket, slap down a slab of smoked salmon and barter with the guy next to you at the table. You say, what's that worth to you? $5-10? You're back in the game.
What were you going to say, Bagnook?
There's this one point when we were in Vegas, we were just in like the casino area waiting for something at New York. And I was sitting with you at a machine and you pumped in like, I don't know, $40. And it was just like, God, and I just laughed at you and you're like, oh, well, and you just made your way.
Tough break.
Speaking of the Cowboy, though, not only did he win the 51-49 or whatever they call it there, he also, that son of a bitch, he also won $800 in a slot machine, like immediately after signing.
Moments after. Check. Yeah. Ink was still drying on his giant check.
He's on a max.
Smacks a BLT or a slot machine out of the park.
Yeah. God bless him.
That's good shit. With all that money, if I had 51-49 money like the towel boy, I would never cook a meal for myself again. I would exclusively order from DoorDash, where you can use the promo code RealLifeDD on the app. DoorDash, 25% off, no delivery fee on your first order when you use RealLifeDD. That's a good code. That's a good deal. DoorDash is a good app. Can you get Oodle Noodle on there?
Yeah, not only that,
yes, you can.
Code Yaremchuk Lifetime 5149. It will preload a lifetime of orders into it for you for a mere $48,000 US. That's $52,000 worth of value for $48,000 US.
Real Life DD. Real Life DD. Shout out to our new friends at DoorDash, by the way. Hope you guys have been having fun with that.
Oh yeah, I got a Donair DoorDash date coming up here right away.
Damn right.
Oh man, I haven't had a Donair you know what I did? I tried a Donair place in my hood like that. It was a little far, and we know Donairs don't travel well. My last Donair was a horrible experience, and I don't blame the place. I blame my not thinking.
You created the situation.
I did. So I need a fresh one to replace the memory.
Yeah. You can't. It's not the Donair's fault. That's right. You got to do that ASAP. Only good vibes.
Only good vibes.
Can be sent to Donair's way.
The sandwich I tried the other day, novelty sandwich, was the chicken sandwich at A&W that they're hawking.
Oh,
the new Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Okay,
with giant pickles on it. You've seen the ad, surely.
Yep,
the nice A&W man. They're going off after the Popeye chicken sandwich. Obviously, they've been schooled. That's been delicious.
The big flavor of the year.
But this Airbnb, this A&W sandwich is actually quite delicious. Take it to an Airbnb.
If you want the ultimate chicken sandwich and support an amazing local chain, go and get the chicken sandwich at Northern Chicken.
Oh man,
yep.
Have you had it? Yeah,
I've had it. I've only had it once, and I still think about it from time to time.
It's good.
It's the sauce, the sauce and the bun. Like it is just,
and the size of chicken. Like it's a giant. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good eats.
The chicken to bread ratio is perfect.
Yeah, that is actually a really, really good restaurant, Northern Chicken. Like I know we're biased, obviously, because we work with them, but like product quality. You know, sometimes you'll go to a city and try food that's highly recommended. You're like, why can't we have this at home? It doesn't seem that complicated. Northern Chicken's that level of delicious, I think.
Absolutely.
No, I'm a big fan. And they're fucking Nashville, like hot, like they're, what the hell is it? Like WFNA or something like that. It is effing hot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what the F stands for.
The FNA? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we also need to start getting into Tyler Tries now that we've walked into August here.
Yeah. We do.
Perfect
summer
time.
content.
It's the perfect
What are we
time.
trying first, Yaremchuk?
You ever have lox on a bagel? It's been in a man's pocket, Yaremchuk? You ever try that smoked salmon in a pocket?
I've never been a big seafood guy.
Sushi's up first.
I've never had sushi.
You've never had sushi.
The most adventurous I've gotten is like trying a piece of shrimp.
Have you ever had a piece of salmon for real?
No.
Not even cooked?
Nope.
What?
Wow.
Oh my God.
This is going to be fun.
Dude,
well, the first 8 years of your life were spent exclusively underground. Is that correct?
Yes. You had revealed that on a podcast earlier in the summer, I believe.
You lived in a buried school bus. Your parents thought it was the end of the world and they miscalculated, and 6 years later popped up and the world hadn't ended. And then you went straight to a Popeyes for a chicken sandwich.
You were growing berries and potatoes in your own feces like Matt Damon in that movie where he goes to space.
How about Matt Damon? Hey, did you catch that, Yaremchuk, while you were gone?
I did, and I really don't want to get into that.
Oh boy.
Not a
He's
fun
like,
story.
I know a story that'll resonate with people who are politically sensitive, and then drops that.
Yikes. Read the room. Read the room, man.
Matt Damon.
Jesus.
It looks like a guy in a professional golf tournament who puts the ball off the green into a water hazard. Read things.
He was Bobby Jones in a movie.
True. He just crossed the divide. Matt Damon's now an old man who doesn't understand, eh?
Yeah,
it happens to all of us.
Yeah. He bought a zoo.
He did buy a zoo.
He went to Mars.
Doesn't happen by accident. Yep.
He was very good at math there also for a while.
Graduated like unofficially from Harvard. That's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that movie, does anybody in this podcast really believe that Bennifer 2.0 is happening, or is this just the public relations coup of our lifetime? They're not really back together.
We'll see if we get a script for Geely 2 coming up here soon.
Man,
that's the true test of love right there between them two. That's the litmus test.
Yep. If those two make a movie again, then we'll know it's for real. Otherwise, I might be with you, Wanye.
It's very strange. I don't know if
nobody wanted this reunion tour.
Well, they're just so pap heavy. They're everywhere together. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, they are. That's a good point. There's a lot of publicity going on here. It does make you think.
Remember, even at the height of the pandemic, all the celebrity news was just Ben Affleck walking a dog with his girlfriend. It was like every single day in the news. Like, there he is again, Ben Affleck, the only celebrity left on earth. I don't know what he's doing.
Jose Canseco, just speaking of that, like when A-Rod was with J-Lo and Jose Canseco fucking hated him, and he still goes at him like every once in a while on Twitter. And
good morning to everyone except A-Rod and stuff like that.
So like he has a shirt. I'm going to send you guys a picture of the shirt he has that he's currently selling on his shopcanseco.com. It is him, an old photo of Jose Canseco flexing with J-Lo Photoshop next to him, and then like a pouting A-Rod in the background.
Oh my God.
Put that on the socials.
Yeah, I will. I'll toss.
That's funny.
He's also selling a mask.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Wow.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah, that'll be up on our socials once this podcast up. He's also selling a mask, like a face mask that says "fuck A-Rod" on it. And he has another sub brand called Canseco Premium Juice that he like puts on. He has on like a fucking fanny pack. Like the dude is just totally off the walls. It's so funny.
Speaking of funny and masks, did you see the Russian guy in the Olympics that wore his cat mask as he got his gold medal?
No.
So he was wearing like a mask. He was masked up, but the mask itself was a cat mouth. And they apparently asked if he would kind of take it off for the ceremony because it's ridiculous. And he's like, no. So there he is with his cat mask on, and it looks so funny.
You make Ivan wear mask, Ivan pick mask.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it. I'm going to throw that in our group chat here right now.
I have gone down the Jose Canseco Twitter wormhole right now, and this guy is just spitting fire as of late. July 21st, he tweeted, "I wonder if aliens drink and do drugs. Maybe I will try dating one." Female alien, of course. He tweeted a photo of a large dog and just said, "This is Toby." And then right before that, he tweeted, "If anyone knows how Toby and Elliot are doing, please let me know."
What? He's got passions.
Man. Yaremchuk, one time I saw Jose Canseco with the pint, Yaremchuk, for real.
Oh, when he was here with like his weird baseball team?
And he was wearing like this super weird blazer with like a bedazzled cross on the back. And his shoulders were so broad, he could barely fit through the door of the bathroom.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Everybody will come to the pint if you just wait long enough.
Yeah, that's true. All roads lead to the pint.
Eventually.
The baseball teams in Edmonton have brought some good stories to the city. Like there's always been like interesting shit happening. I remember one year, like the Edmonton Capitals made the final of their league and they had to play like the team that was from Mexico. And
that was
like
the best year.
6 of the players couldn't get across the border for the series. Yeah. So like Edmonton got to like beat the shit out of them because they were missing all their good players because they couldn't get across the border. Fascinating shit. Speaking of other sports teams, the Edmonton Elks are back. CFL action's back this weekend. I love a good Elks.
Awesome. And the weather's going to be great.
No, they didn't.
The show going.
They did no preseason. It starts with the real thing on Saturday. They're taking on the Red Blacks, and the CFL actually announced something when it comes to vaccinations that if you have a game canceled because of a COVID-19 protocol, if your team has a vaccination rate of over 85% and your game is canceled, everyone gets paid. But if your vaccination rate is under 85% and your game gets canceled, no one gets paid, even the vaccinated players.
Oh, you're getting a little peer pressure in here.
And right now, only 3 of the teams, according to Terry Jones of Post Media, only 3 of the teams have hit that vaccination threshold. Imagine how fucking pissed you'd be if you're one of the guys who got vaccinated, your game gets canceled, and you don't get your goddamn check. And for those guys in the CFL making the money they do, missing a check is... Whew.
It's the thing about the CFL for me is football is obviously an intense sport to play. The on your joints especially, and the hits and all of that. And in the CFL, they're doing it for the love of the game, man. I'll tell you. There ain't no $200 million Steph Curry contracts going out in the CFL.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
His 1 year salary would be more than the collective salary cap of the CFL.
Oh yeah.
How demotivating is that, eh? You're
what is the salary
working
cap?
out
it's
for
like
the
$4 million.
I think so. CFL.
Yeah.
You're busting your hump trying out for the Tie Cats, and you'll
5.3 million
more than your league.
Yeah, that's.
They can have one Duncan Keith, and he plays all positions.
Yeah. When he's 44 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball's just so crazy, man. It's just so crazy to me how much money those guys make.
No, you're not kidding me. So the Steph Curry thing got announced, and I'm like, holy shit. So I started diving into it a little bit. They're bench players that just easily get more than Connor McDavid.
Baseball's kind of like that too. Like I remember J.A. Happ when he left Toronto, he signed like a 2-year deal with the Twins for like 12 mil a season. And it was like, there's a good gamble, like short money, like nice move. And I'm like, man, J.A. Happ is like 38 and he's going to make as much money as Connor McDavid in the next couple of years. Like that's insane. Hockey players are, the word underpaid is a bad word to use because like, come on, they're all millionaires still and all that stuff. But relative to the other sports, hockey players are very, very underpaid. And I guess it speaks to the size of the sport. But
if you're feeling bad for people that lose money, Tyler, how about Jeff Bezos losing $13.6 billion off his net worth in one day?
Why?
How's he going to get by?
Is this all because of the going to space thing?
Amazon went down by 1 penny. Is that why?
Yeah, his stock took a hit. They missed their earnings by a fair margin, which was surprising to me. But yeah, the stock took a shit a little bit.
Huh.
Speaking of which, Bag Milk, my conspiracy economic blogs, which I'm so deep on, say that Tesla is going to do a big earnings restatement after their next quarter. So govern yourself accordingly.
Oh, I love some good stonk talk.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? They're gonna it's gonna come. They have to
There's some
re-report
cookery
their
of the
passages.
bookeries.
Yes.
To do with like
'Cause
deposits and how many vehicles are on deposit and all this shit.
Squeeze them.
Yeah. Good luck. Everybody tried to squeeze Elon's got broken hands now. Can't squeeze a diamond.
I'm pretty sure he's selling all the Teslas to people that golf at Lewis Estates, by the way. I was there the other day with a buddy. We just hit up the range for a bit, and there was 5-6 Teslas in the parking lot. That's one of my favorite parts about going there is just scoping out all the whips. It's awesome.
How's the golf game going? I saw you were using like a putting trainer and like you're going in, eh?
Yeah, man, putting the work in. I'd say I'm a solid 2 out of 10. You know, I'm getting there.
Better than 0.
Yeah.
Have you played like a full 18 a few times?
No, just did 9. Did 9 a little while ago, and it's the irons are okay, but when you drive, I might as well not use a driver at this point. It's going somewhere, but not where I want it to. You know,
that's par for the course when it comes to the big dog.
Yep, the big dog wants to eat, and I don't have the food for it.
That's the one thing about my game that I've always been very happy about, and especially this year, my driver's my most reliable club. Like it never goes further than like 210 yards, but I know it's going on the fairway like every time consistently. I play the same shape and it just drops in every time down the middle.
Someone paid $600 to golf with us and you're going to hit it 210 for him?
But I'm going to hit it 210 down the middle, which is ideal in a scramble. You let me go first. I drop one in the middle of the fairway, 210 yards up, and everyone else can bomb away.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Corey.
But if we have to use his driver, we still have a driver in our hands from the approach shots so far back.
Not necessarily. I can hit my 3-wood further than I can hit my driver, but it's the accuracy is way, way off. I take
the science of that to me.
I take it off my driver. I don't swing as hard as I can. I just go up there and just little bop, get in the middle of the fairway. And then I'll make up the distance with another club. I'm not good. I've never pretended to be good. Although I played at Predator Ridge. I played the Ridge course and I shot a career best. It was fucking unreal. I had 4 birdies. I don't think I've even had 4 birdies all year. I had 4 birdies in the round. It was nuts. I was sinking every single fucking putt imaginable. I get to 17. And if I would have just parred the last 2 holes, I would have finished with a 77, and I've never broken 80 before. And
Dinking at 210 off the tee?
Yeah, man. Like my approach game was sick. My putting was sick. So so on 17, I step up. I'm like, all right, Yaremchuk, 2 bogeys.
Put in the water on the left.
Hold on. You call yourself Yaremchuk?
Yeah, I talk to myself in my head and call myself
That's
Yaremchuk.
A beautiful hole.
Yeah. So 17 on the ridge, I step up and my little slice goes right into the fucking water. And so I go pull out second shot right in the damn water again. I shanked it. So I took a triple on 17 and then I parred 18 magically and I shot an even 80. But that triple on 17 will stick with me for a while. That's haunting.
All right. So you're coming in hot. All right.
I'm coming in hot for the Nation Open. Yeah.
Good. I'm excited. We're sold out, by the way, which is fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for
Did you talk about who we're going to be golfing with? You talked about the winner of the auction?
We mentioned their name. You had all the data, so we're just kind of going with it. So you want to tell us more about our winners?
Fanny Pack Freddy on Twitter. That's where that you can find him. He's the winner of our auction. Him and his buddy are going to be golfing with us. Seems like a great guy. Profile picture, Kobe Bryant in an Oilers jersey. Always a beauty move. Seems pretty active on Twitter. Seems like he's a bit of a betting man as well. I think just based on kind of his tweets and all that. So I think we're going to have a great time with Fanny Pack Freddy and a friend.
Did you run him for outstanding warrants? Did you check that?
Nope. No sort of. Wow. Should I have? I don't know.
No, guy. What's the likelihood a guy calling himself Fanny Pack Freddy is a murderer? 1 in 2, 3, maybe 1 in 3.
You guys told me to do an auction and I said, I've never done that before and I don't know how it'll work. And you just kind of said, you got it, Yaremchuk. So I did it, and you cannot complain with the outcome when you just throw something.
I feel good about Fanny Pack Freddy. We should get team Fanny Packs.
That'd be a good
stuff
idea.
Him full of Nation beer.
Maybe he calls himself Fanny Pack Freddy because he's sick of Fanny Packs and you offend him.
Well, I'm willing to roll the dice.
Well,
we'll find out who he really is.
All right, we're gonna slowly head towards the end of the podcast here. Quickly though, manscaped.com, my Manscaped razor. I got the Lawnmower 3.0, but the Lawnmower 4.0 is out now, and it looks like a fantastic product. We have a promo code there. It's manscaped.com, and the code is real life. Gets you 20% off and free shipping. Did we want to wrap with a quick little bit of Big Brother talk?
Sure.
I'm not caught up.
You're not caught up?
I'm
Wanye,
still.
you watching?
No, I got them all taped though. I'm gonna watch like in the last little bit and be excited for the finale. I'm gonna binge midway through the year.
I'm at the episode.
Starting to get interesting.
I'm at the episode where Brett he's on the block. He didn't win the veto. And at the end of the episode, when the veto wasn't used, he was like, my plan worked perfectly. And everyone was like, whoa, you're insane.
He is so delusional and into himself. It is almost impressive. Can I just get it?
Galaxy
jump
brain
ahead a little bit,
episode on that
Tyler?
guy.
His speech, like his conversation with Julie, was awkward.
It was the worst.
And every answer was about pumping him up. It was so weird.
It was the weirdest thing ever. That guy was just, man, and he kept talking about how well his brain's working and shit. It's just like,
he's such a threat, and he's physical, and he's so smart, and oh god, it was something. It was something. And like normally I'm like, you should keep that guy in the house, but you can't, because that guy is an absolute wild card and probably will get into some kind of altercation because of what he says to people.
Mm-hmm.
We're
still at the part of Big Brother, though, even without saying anything, is where everybody's still too friendly. How many people got kicked out so far? 3, 4, something like that. We need to get more of these people out of here. So then they start getting really conniving and evil.
Yeah. People are going to start turning on the Kings, right?
Absolutely.
Kings are on everyone's radar, so that's going to start happening. But you're right; it's still a little buddy.
The LA Kings are inside Big Brother.
Yep.
Which players? Who's there?
Luke Robitaille.
I was going to ask if Luke Robitaille was there.
Yeah, Rob Blake.
Ron Duguay.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Rudy.
Marcel Dion. Jim
Yaremchuk. How are you? You're missing a good season. All these LA Kings. I would have thought you'd been all over this.
I'm just not caught up. I'm 2 episodes behind.
I'll never forget when we went to the arena in LA and there was another Gretzky statue. That was weird. It's like seeing your dad with his other family and they love him too. You're like, I don't know. It's like bigger than our statue. Like,
Well, don't let Chalmers know that there's an alternate Gretzky statue that's bigger than ours.
Slightly bigger than ours too, I think. A little bit.
Yeah, it was. And he had like longer hair, like 90s Gretzky hair.
Yeah, we got the Cristiano Ronaldo version 1 of the statue, and they got V2, the makeup.
Oh no!
You have to be somebody to have 2 statues, 3. There's one in Brantford, and he's not even passed. He's well alive.
We need a recurring segment with Chalmers just called Prick Move, where we just let him spout off for like 3 minutes on like something that pissed him off.
You know what? That's a good idea. Write that down. Chalmers homework once a week is to come up with a prick move of the week.
Someone teed off on Chalmers the other day on Twitter and was like, oh, really? Like this, and this, and all the segments you say you're going to do, you never do.
Yeah, like
so
this 100.
Yeah, and then the construction tips, and then what happened to voicemails? Someone said. I was like, I don't know. Fuck.
Oh, we'll do voicemails. We probably should have crushed out a voicemail or 2 today. I'll put out a call for more voicemails. We did that for like a month. Same thing with the listener profiles. We did that for like 8 months.
If you want to listen to a show called Strict Segments, that's an entirely different podcast, and we're not part of it.
Also, someone was coming at me.
Do you have a voicemail?
I didn't check the voicemail since I got back. Completely honest, it slipped my mind. I'll put it back out there though.
We got a review.
Who's coming at you?
Speaking of last week's podcasts, we got a review, fresh one. This one's from a Keith Gretzky. It just says Cliff Poo. He said, disappointed that Cliff Poo trade episode moment did not get brought up during the funny sports names segment. Seriously, a top 5 real life clip of all time.
Big Milk's internet just shit out.
Well, that was odd. 33 more minutes of Telus is needed.
But he gave us like a specific timestamp of like when, like the moment he's talking about in that. And now I'm super interested.
And he says it's a top clip of nation life, of real life of all time.
Yeah. Episode 220 and at the 43-minute mark. So let's see what we can do here. Cause I might be able to pull it up real quick.
In terms of the funniest moment in the podcast.
Yeah, he just in Keith Gretzky's review, he said episode 220 at the 43:36 mark.
Do you think it's really Keith Gretzky?
Probably. He loves our pod.
Yeah.
43:36. Okay, so just for context, I'm going to start it at like 43:20. All right,
for good yet?
On free agency, because I think they're lining themselves up to do.
Sorry,
to do a big
they
movie.
traded for who? You said to the Panthers for Florida.
Oh,
so
sorry.
I don't know who Florida.
They get all of Florida.
So you're on meth.
They really wanted Miami.
You've got COVID.
They got Cliff. They got Cliff
So political.
Poo. Cliff Poo from Florida.
Cliff, what?
Cliff Poo.
Spell.
P-U.
All right, Cliff.
Okay, that's good. We're back to
That
current.
actually was kind of funny.
Cliff Poo. What? Spell it. All right.
P-U.
Thank
Yeah,
you for the
it gets deeper. There's layers to that joke.
Yeah, that joke has several chambers within it.
Like, yeah.
Speaking of segments we could start and then stop doing, send us in like your favorite real life moments and we'll go back and revisit them. That might be like a fun way to kill an episode in August.
Yeah.
Anyways, we will get back to voicemails. Don't worry about that. We'll take your off-season questions. And when I say off-season questions, not necessarily like Oilers off-season questions, just like random shit for us to talk about in the off-season because it's August. We could get like 8 podcasts in here and there is like not a lot of hockey to talk about. Bag Milk has informed me that his internet is donezo, and he's going back on hold with Telus.
Before you end this show, Yaremchuk.
Yep.
When you hang up, everybody stay on here because I want to tell you the stuff Gregor told me that I'm not allowed to tell anybody. But he told me some stuff, and I wanted to tell you guys before the show, and I got to tell you so I don't forget.
All right. And on that tease that the listeners will never find out about,
That's right.
we will get to our post podcast briefing with Wanye. Shout out to Bag Milk, who also joined for a bit, but his internet didn't want him sticking around here much more often. Shout out to our friends at DoorDash, Twig and Berries, Manscaped, and of course our title sponsor, the HGA Group. I'm Tyler Yaremchuk, back from vacation and very happy about it for Wanye and Jay. You enjoy your week, and we will talk to you again on Thursday when we'll have a very special guest.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.